Moving on, singer-songwriter Nandita Dias has drawn on different languages and music influences, jazz, classical, and folk, to create her own unique sound. Next month, she stars in a new production called Jazz Raga, and it's for a very good cause. Welcome to the studio.
Hi.
Welcome back. You've been on the show before,
Yeah.
and we've had some great conversations about, you're so diverse in what you do. But tell us first about the new show, and then we'll go back and talk a little bit about your career so far.
Okay, the new show, it's called Jazz Raga. And basically the inspiration came out of, I've been doing charity shows for a long time. And I decided I'd like to do something a bit different this time, because usually when I do a show, I tell some kind of a story to go with each song that I sing.
Right.
I'll talk
You've
about
done musical shows, like performances.
Concerts.
Right, concerts.
That's right.
Okay.
And I'll talk about where the song came from, who composed it, what made me fall in love with that specific song, or what it means if it's in another language.
Right.
And that helps people to connect to the song, to the content, and to feel it. So I decided this time I'll write a narrative. I'll have a story to go with it, because I sing in so many languages that I end up having a lot of like English, Spanish, French, Portuguese, Indian languages on my show. And I decided what I'll do now is I'll sing everything, but I'll put a story to it, a story about a girl who's about my age,
right,
and has a life that is kind of like a hybrid kind of experience, where she's Indian, but she's also Canadian.
Okay.
And her parents, there's a bit of a generation gap and a cultural clash of sorts that happens.
And you have other people in the show as well. Are they actors or are they other musicians?
Okay, so I have an actress. Her name is Marissa Zini, and she's a graduate from Hamburg College. I also have other musicians. I have Sundar Vishwanathan, and he's a professor at York University. He's a saxophone player. I have a tabla player, a really close friend of mine, Ahilan. I have an Indian vocalist. He's going to be doing a bit of Sufi as well, Naki Ali Khan, and players that play with him. And I have a lot of Cubans. I have about 6 Cubans on this gig. Glenda Del Monte Escalante, and Juan Pablo Dominguez, Michel Ahmed, Julio, a couple of people.
All these people I've never
of
heard of, but I'm sure it sounds great. So it's a musical collaboration with a narrative in it, okay? What type of person is going to enjoy this show? Is it a musical theater person? Is it somebody who's looking for more of the music? What type of audience are you looking to attract here?
I think this is a show for everybody. It's for everyday people, and people that haven't experienced, as many people do in Canada, of being from somewhere and also being from here.
Right.
So I keep in mind people like myself, people like my students. I'm a teacher, and a lot of my kids have an experience where they have a home culture and then they have a culture that they live at school. I think anyone that enjoys music and art, culture, theater, I think they'll enjoy the show.
And all for a very good cause. We mentioned right off the top. Tell us a little bit about how that tie-in works with what you're doing in terms of your performances.
So the performance, all the proceeds after costs are covered are going to be going to Friends of Iqbal Foundation. Okay. And they work in partnership with Free the Children. Right.
What is Friends of Iqbal? What is that foundation?
They are an NGO, a Mississauga-based NGO. Okay. And they work for Free the Children. So anything that they raise, and so I'll be donating to them, and they'll be donating to Free the Children, goes to the Adopt the Village program, Adopt a Village that Free the Children has. Right. And this time we're focusing on Udaipur, Rajasthan. They're building a school there, which really ties in with me in education and what I like to do. So
very cool. Now you're also obviously a jazz singer as well, as we mentioned off the top. 4 different languages, you know. Do you sing in all those languages?
Yes, I do. English, Spanish, French, Portuguese, and Indian languages.
Any preferences on which language you...
I have to admit, I love Spanish. It's my favorite language. It always has been, and I've been really close to Spanish culture, people singing, dancing, the music, and the language itself.
And you have other performances coming up in the city. I know that you have a packed itinerary and with travel involved as well. Where else are you performing in the city? Okay,
so some of the other performances I'm doing, I do a lot of charity gigs. So I just did one for the Ellsworth Women's Center. Okay. And I have a lot of corporate stuff coming up. I don't really have something that the public can visit. So this is the thing that I really want people to go to, because it's like my creative work, and it's something I'm putting on, not something I'm being hired for. Right. So that's why I'm looking forward to this one.
Now we're giving the audience, unfortunately, we're giving them a taste of the show, and we're talking about your music, etc. But where can the audience really listen to some of your music online, etc.?
They can go to nanditadias.com. So that's where they can visit my website, and they can have a taste there of what I do.
And is there an album associated with your work yet?
Okay, I have a couple of recordings, and I sell them at my shows. Right. But an album, I'm projecting not this summer, but the summer after. Right. Because my voice has actually gotten a lot better. I have this amazing teacher. Her name is Shannon Gunn. Okay. And she's been working with me, and I have a power that I didn't have before. And so I just want to keep working on that. And next summer, I've been writing a lot of originals and honing my style. And I think I'll do something for stores next summer.
And you have 180 kids waiting for you diligently in Brampton.
Yes,
I'm probably
yeah.
watching you right now saying, and you teach French.
Yes, I teach at Calderstone Middle School with the Peel Justice School Board, and I love my kids. They're my inspiration, and it's a lot of fun being with young people every day. And I guess I'm young at heart as well, and I'm fairly young anyways, so.
You know what, you're an inspiration. I love your story. I love how motivated you are. I wish you all the best with the show. livingartscenter.ca is where people can get tickets and find out about show times, etc. And of course, your website that you mentioned earlier as well.
It's a beautiful venue. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it is a beautiful venue. Ms. Saga's done a great job with that. Thank you so much for coming in. Please
You're welcome.
Stay in touch with us, and best of luck.